I just never felt alone. And as I, grew older and stuff, things would happen. I would have certain dreams, certain experiences. I, have a ghost that has been following me around for about 2 decades, and she's wonderful. And she's given me physical proof that she's there. Okay, so Lila, that's what I named her. And there's a couple, I mean, several, but I'll tell you a couple in your face kind of experiences. I used to be a teacher years ago. And for Christmas, I used to get, the students would bring you presents, and I got this really nice pen, and it was my favorite pen, and I used it all the time. And then I lost it, which I always do. And, I was sad about it, but, whatever, it is what it is. Um, I'm going to say several weeks went by, probably a couple of 2 or 3 months. And I got up and I'm getting ready to go to work, and I go over to my dresser like I did every morning. And there on the top of the dresser in a straight line, taken apart in pieces, is my pen. I
Oh,
lived alone. I had a dog, but Kira didn't have thumbs, and she would bark in random rooms and kind of stare and bark, every once in a while. But another thing that was even more, I guess, kind of in your face is I had to acknowledge her, because if I didn't, from time to time, things would happen. You'd hear like things would fall off the shelves and stuff. Nothing like horrible like that, scary or anything. But when Will and I had started dating, he got me a beautiful diamond bracelet for Christmas, and I wore it all the time. And I went to work one day and I didn't have it on, and I didn't remember taking it off. And I'm like, oh no, I worked really close to my house. I'm just going to run home and grab it. So I go home, and as I'm pulling up, I see the yard guy, and he's mowing the lawn right by where I parked. I'm like, oh my God, it's being all chopped up, And I talk to him. He's like, no, there's been no weird noises. And we look around in the grass for a while, and it's not there. So I go inside the house, and I'm looking through the house, in my bedroom, in the bed, on the nightstand, on the floor, in the bathroom, the living room. I'm looking between the couch cushions. I mean, everywhere that it wouldn't be, I'm looking. I go out onto the porch, I'm looking on the floor, I'm looking everywhere. So after a good 35, 40 minutes, I've resigned myself to the fact that I'm going to have to buy myself a new bracelet, because, of course, I can't tell him I've lost the bracelet. I'm like, man, I got to figure out where he bought it. I got to get another one. So I'm like, oh, let me ask Lila for help. So I'm like, Lila, I really need you to help me find this bracelet. I don't have the extra money right now to go buy myself a piece of jewelry. So, so I look around the house a little bit longer, and then I go to leave, and I open the door, which I had done like probably 25 times looking for this bracelet. And I look on the welcome mat, and in a perfect spiral shape is my bracelet sitting right there for me.
actually, I do have something that I can share. It's not about channeling, but it's about evidence in a certain extent, but it has to do with me. Um, on one of our shows, at one point, someone said that I was claircognizant. Karen mentioned it earlier. Doesn't claircognizant means that you just know. It's I don't hear voices, I don't see things. I just have an overwhelming feeling of knowing. Where empath or clear sentience are people who actually feel things. Sometimes you go into a room for people who have different clairs. Someone will go into a room and they'll feel certain energies. They'll feel, I feel there was a death here, or I feel something bad happened here, or something along the line. Clear cognizant, you just know. Someone asks you a question and you just know what the answer is. So apparently that's what I am. And at one point, Karen asked me a question, and I said, "This is what the answer is." And we weren't 100% sure that, how would I know? But so she started asking me follow-up questions. She said, well, come, give me something else that that no one else could know, but we can maybe verify. So I decided to just open up, and I said, I don't know what this means, but I'm getting that there is a like a keystone or something in. Ask your sister if when they were building their house, if they put a keystone or something like that in the foundations of the house to signify their new union, or the new house that they're building together. I have no idea, but ask and see. But I'm getting this thing that there's this thing in the foundation. And Karen, a couple days later, went to her sister and asked, and her sister confirmed. So yeah, so I would say that we've experienced, since doing the show, we've experienced some things that are evidential in nature. I had no idea. This keystone came out of nowhere to me. I had no idea that they even. I didn't know at what point they had built their house. I didn't know anything of it. Neither did Karen. So it wasn't influenced by anybody. I hadn't talked to her sister about it, and yet, lo and behold, that's it. It happened. So